Alrighty, hi, my name is Scott. I'm with Louisville Mixed Games, and I'm here doing the Get for Good Game Jam, which is a 1 hour game jam. I just received my theme, which is, I'll go ahead and start the timer, no theme. So, let's see, I'm working with Pico 8. It is a nice little game development engine that has everything kind of built into it. You can do the code, you can make sprites, make a background with tiles from the sprites that you make. You can do the sounds and music, all kind of built into this, restricted type of development environment. So, you can't build the biggest thing in the world. So this kind of tailors itself really well to game jams, especially ones in this sort of short time constraint. So, theme of no theme. So I'm going to brainstorm first a little bit. I don't want to approach this from the viewpoint of, okay, this is a wild card, I can do whatever I want. I want to see if I can do something that leans into the theme of no theme, if that makes sense. Just doing some initial brainstorming. If you have a theme, you have something that's like cohesive, things sort of match or go together, and we're going to try to do something that's like the opposite or lacking of a theme. And we're going to think about what type of game mechanics we can do that can maybe disrupt a theme or prevent the forming of a theme. If there's maybe some sort of like type of matching of different objects and like preventing like objects getting together to prevent a theme from forming. Sort of like a reverse, like Bejeweled or something. Piece of match, we could do something with palette and color themes, and try to maybe do something that's, I mean, I could say monochromatic, but monochromatic is a theme. So yeah, maybe there's something with colors I can do to try to get to no theme, where it's kind of, I'm trying to think of like the visual synonym for how do you pronounce that word? Cacophony of like sounds, but just something that's just like everywhere with colors and visuals. See, a no theme. See if we have theme songs. You could try to be like running away, like Too Many Cooks, where he's like running away from the theme song, so it's like no theme. Just say like running away from, it's just really abstract. I could make some music notes that like the main character is trying to run away from. No theme. So I'll probably kind of noodle around on this for a couple of more minutes, and then maybe start trying to put something together, because like I said before, this is only a 1 hour jam, so I don't want to get hung up too much on trying to find the perfect idea. The idea is to kind of just like take something, run with it, and make something. So let's see, anything else on the topic of theme or no theme? I could also, well, I think this is going to be just too big of a scope, but making a game where there are like different types of game mechanics, so it's not a single type of game, it's not a platformer, it's not a puzzle game, and the mechanics themselves just kind of don't centralize on a single theme or a single genre of game. So that avoids falling into a single theme or genre. But I think that one's going to be too much scope, so I'd have to program like different mechanics. And so I guess like the goal would be to hopefully find like a couple of central little game mechanics that I can flesh out into some type of interactive experience. So running away from theme song notes, I'm going to put exclamation by that. Let's say kind of expanding on avoiding matches or similarly themed items. And so in this instance, I'm visualizing something like, you know, there's like 3 different types of plants and there's like 3 different types of food, and you want to make sure like 2 food items don't meet each other. So you're like keeping things separated. Or maybe I could have it where there's like boxes that contain items and you have to swap them so that everything is no single box contains too much of a single theme. All right. So I'll say opposite or lacking of a theme. Could also say maybe slightly different but disrupting a theme, which I think what I just talked about kind of touches on that. Like the theme is there and you're trying to do what you can to disrupt the theme. So I'm trying to think of how I might be able to do that. If I did it with something with colors and you like just pick a color that like either doesn't go with the palette, and so you try to like disrupt a specific picture or just like literally just like a palette swatch. I feel like that would be hard to make interesting because I feel like you could just like ruin any one color and maybe you know you're technically disrupting the theme. So yeah, I don't know. Let me just think on that a tiny bit more. So like if you were in an art gallery and you had like a bunch of paintings, I feel like going in and just like painting over other paintings is not really going into no theme, it's just going into straight up disruption. Disrupting a theme. All right. I think the one I'm gravitating towards most is avoiding matches or similar themed items. Running away from theme song notes. I would have to do a little bit more with music. You know, I can do some basic things as far as music goes, but I feel like I would want to have like a decent song or spend some time making the music for it, if that's the kind of game I was making. All right, so definitely narrowing my vision in on these 2. To make, you know, various sprites that fit into different themes. This one I would definitely want to have music. This one would be I like both of these would be pretty easy to execute. So which one do I like more? Do I want to make Too Many Cooks the game, or do I want to make Anti-Bejeweled? This one's kind of funny to me, but it's only funny in the reference of Too Many Cooks if you've seen that. And I'm not sure it 100% makes sense, but it's just something that jumped into my head. So okay, let's say I'm at 10 minutes. I will just go ahead and maybe flip a coin or just go with one of these. Let's say okay, so I'm gonna go with this one, and I was sort of just kind of thinking internally about you know, grouping objects, or like avoiding grouping objects. So I was thinking about them like falling from top of the screen. You can put them in left or right pile. But if you get to a point where you have like 3 in a row, where it gets interesting is you can also press up or a button to juggle it. So that way you have to like keep one in the air until you can put something else. And I wouldn't say guess necessarily in a pile. Let's say like in a stack. So you can't make 2 like things in a stack touch. But once you put something else on top of it, you can kind of continue. So if you get like corn and an apple, you put left or right, and then you get banana, you have to throw that banana up in the air, and then say like next you have like a teddy bear, and then you would throw that into a stack. So yeah, I'm doing this. I'm locked in at 11 minutes. So let's think about different themes of objects. Let's see, it's not quite what I meant to do. Let's do oh, have something falling onto the mic here. Shuffle things around a little bit. All right, hopefully that's better. All right, say food, maybe toys. I'm thinking about stuff that should like be easy to put as a sprite, like little 8x8 sprites that I can, you know, easily do. Animals, maybe. That might kind of be confusing with toys if I'm doing like a teddy bear, but I could avoid. Toys might be hard. Let's do food. Let's do animals. Let's do maybe sports. Could make a few different various like balls, tennis racket. And maybe that's all I need. We'll start with that, and I can add more and brainstorm. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the code. So in Pico 8, there's kind of like a few base functions that get called out by the game engine. There's the init function. There's the update function, which runs every frame. Init only runs the when you start the project. And then we have a draw function, which also happens every frame and draws everything to the screen. So I'm going to say I'm going to create this table for objects, and we're going to use this to hold all of the objects that are like falling down from the top of the screen. And we want a stack on the left and a stack on the right. And we want to know what's on top of each of the stacks. And I'm trying to think if that's fully necessary to track, or if we just need what's on top. Let's see, how would this look? So I have an object falling down from the top of the screen. If I hit left or right, immediately just kind of like snap it over, or will it move over? And also if you hit up, would it, I feel like I want it to kind of juggle if I hit up. So if I hit up, that's going to move it upwards, and then my next target is going to be the next lowest item that's falling downward, I think, is how I want to handle that. So yeah, I might have to think about the UI, how it's like displayed to the player, and make sure you kind of know which object you're pushing around. So we'll just start with making the objects that fall from the top of the screen, and then we'll worry about putting them where they need to be. So I'm just gonna make a couple of sprites here. Let's see, we have food. I think one thing I said was corn. We'll do, and there's somebody in the I don't know, there's some meme with corn in the Louisville Makes Games community. I'm not 100% sure what it is, so it's just funny. I kind of started with that. Can I do orange? Does that look more corn-like, less corn-like? I think that works. Okay. Food, banana, kind of like a crescent dish shape with brown on the top. I don't want it to be too thin. This looks weird to me. So I'm just going to kind of brute force play around until it looks halfway decent. Okay, I think that's good. And then classic apple. And there's some other tools kind of built in to make drawing like circles and other stuff easier. Looks a little too heart-like. I care about having those little bumps. I just do a circle and then the stem's going to be off-center because I'm drawing it with an even number. So let me draw it with an odd number so I can get this centered. Okay. Yeah, that just definitely doesn't look right. We'll do the kind of flat circle there. All right, and let's start with 3 of each types. So start with that up there. Do orange tiger or cat. We'll keep it super simple. I'm going to keep the background black, so I wonder if I can do this for like kind of dark tiger stripes. Or maybe just make this like a cat. I don't know, can I do whiskers? Let's see if I move this over. There we go. All right, and let's copy and paste this because we're going to do another, we're going to do a dog. See if we can do it brown, give it a shorter tail. And of course, instead of whiskers, it's going to have like a little snoot. Need both of those. Sure. And then, ooh, let's do a turtle. I feel like turtle's just green. Just green all the way around, right? No, go up there. All right. And you're limited with a palette, but I think, you know, blue's kind of in the realm of green, so I can kind of use this as a, and I'm already using 2 of the greens already. So I think I can use this like dark blue, and I've done it similar before in like other games and other sprites. Use this as a way to kind of do this like fake dark green. That might be too much. I feel like that's not enough. Is it because I'm missing the tail? Why don't I like this? It's a little bit better. Didn't need the tail. Was the head too low? I think maybe that's what it was. That looks better. All right, and next we have sports. So I'm gonna use the circle for this. Do a good old soccer ball, fill that in. Draw some dark circles. I didn't play sports except for Ultimate Frisbee, so that's soccer ball, y'all. It's a bad soccer ball. Can I just fill this out? Is that worse? I think that might be slightly worse, but I'm trying to think if there's a good way to fix how this looks. What if I move? move everything up one basically. So it'll be more like this. That's slightly better. And then let's do, actually it'll be just easier. A little basketball. Unfortunately, that's going to be too close to the middle, and that's not going to look right. So unfortunately, I don't think there's a good way to draw a frisbee and make it understandable. But that one would be basketball. I mean, I could draw like a disc, but it's not going to look like a frisbee, I don't think. You're going to be like, what is this? And I can't just draw a circle. I could give it like a little more and maybe like, I don't know, some writing on it, but yeah, it's kind of hard to, I don't know, convey a frisbee. It looks just kind of like a robot. And if I made it just a complete side view, it still looks a little off. So yeah, I'm going to say that's going to be too hard to convey. Could do a tennis ball. I could just do balls for all of these. So let's say tennis ball, which I think is green, the white. I feel like it doesn't have the line across. Could search, but I'm pretty sure that looks right to me. So, okay, so we have 3 of each object. I'm at 21 minutes. It's not too bad. Let's try to get some basic falling down stuff. So we'll say, let's see, I have sprites 1 through 3. So I'm just define some like constants up here. What do I start with? Fruits, food. Make this little list 3. I'm going to use these to spawn a random one or use these as comparisons. We have animals. What does this start with? 16, 16, 17, 18. And we have sports. 32, 33, 34. We're going to start with no objects, and we're going to say just over time, we're going to spawn one from the top of the screen, and then we want those to fall down, and then we want to draw those on the screen. So first, we need to keep track of a time, so we'll just start time at 0. I'm going to put this in the init function. That's if I want to restart the game, I can maybe just like call this, and it'll clear everything out and start fresh, or a fresh state. So every time we update, we're just going to increment the timer by 1. And then we're going to say if the time, Pico 8, I think, runs at 30 frames a second. So we'll say every 2 seconds it equals 0. And actually, I'm going to start time at 1 so it doesn't spawn 1 at the very, very start of the game. Then I want to make a new object, and I'm going to create a function for this. Function create object. And this is going to just spawn one in the middle of the screen. Say local O, this is creating a local variable. And basically, I'm going to give it this table like of a variable name SPR. Actually, let me do SP for sprite. And I want this to be a random sprite out of everything. So what I could do is kind of concatenate these all together into like an overall, like, okay, choose from any of these type of thing. So I can do like all underscore, I don't want to say all objects because it's going to be confusing with this, but we'll just say like, but I'm calling everything an object, so I'll say maybe object choices. And I want to say, might be wrong about this. I might have to test this out. I might have to see if I can concatenate these lists like this. This will make one list with everything. And we'll see how that goes. And so I want this to be a random object choice. It's actually been a tiny bit since I've programmed in Pico 8. I've been working on some other projects. Rand. And it goes up to the number object choices. And random, I think, is going to be, it can be like a decimal up to this number. So I believe what we want to do is take the floor of that to make it an integer. And I forget whether I want it to add 1 to it or not. Because I believe this is index starting at 1, 1 being like the first object. So I'm going to start with this. And then I'm going to define some other stuff on this this table that I'm using for this object. I know I want to have a speed, an x and y position. X position, we'll just put it in the middle of the screen, just 64, it's like 128 pixels wide. Y equals, when at the top of the screen, I believe that's going to be 0, if I'm not mistaken. We'll start with a, I don't think I'm actually going to do any horizontal movement. So I'll start with like gravity, or I even want to do gravity. I think I do. I think I want it to like fall faster over time, and then when you throw it up, it goes up, and then slowly gravity will pull it down. So y is going to change by this much each frame. So it's going to spawn this, and then we want to add this to the list of objects. Then we're going to say, okay, so yeah, every 2 seconds it's going to create one. And then we want to do the update for our objects. We want to make these fall down. We also want to draw them, and I'll get to that in a second. Say for O and all objects, do, and then we'll do O dot say apply gravity, apply dy. So gravity, I'll say, I don't want to handle this, plus equals, it's going to do this every frame, so after a second, it's going to increase by 30 times this. So it needs to be pretty small, but I'm not sure how small. Just kind of tinker with that. And then we want y plus equals dy. And then I'll need to figure out how I want to handle what's currently being targeted. And I think what I'll do is, I'm just gonna make a to-do note here. Targeting is basically get the lowest object that is moving downward, and maybe display something around it, but I'll get to that later. So I'm gonna do something similar down here. To draw these, we're gonna call this a sprite function, which I forget. Go 8 sprite. I'll read the documentation. Okay, yeah, n being the sprite number, so that's going to be O-SP. I'm going to draw this at O.X and O.Y, and we're not doing a custom width or height, so it should default to yeah, to 1. And then I'm going to just make a to-do note down here. Draw targeting on for the one that we're currently targeting to move left or right. All right, I'm just going to give this a quick little read through. Hopefully it doesn't yell at me too much when I try to just run this. Food times 1, it's going to init, it's going to update, create an object. It's going to be empty until we create one. And then we're going to apply gravity, move it downward, and then going to be drawn. Global food. Table value. Okay, so yeah, this is not how you concatenate tables in LUA. Let's see. Let's just do a quick little search. Table. Tables and how to use them. This might not tell me exactly. Let me look up LUA tables. Cat. Maybe just join. Oh, it literally just iterates through and adds objects from the other table to the other. I feel like there's a concise way of doing this, but I don't know it off the top of my head, so we're just gonna do voices equals blank. And then I just iterate through all of these and then add them all to object choices. There we go. And I'll just leave those as F. All right, what are we yelling about now? Global dy didn't do ODY. O.dy. Y. Y. I want to reference the actual object. Also on the draw, we want to clear the screen every frame before we start drawing everything. 1000 to 1000. Okay, we got it. It's fallen. Yay. So why did I only get 2? I feel like we should have every 2 seconds gotten something new, and I felt like it stopped. Am I wrong about that? 1000. Yeah, I feel like that shouldn't stop. B modulo 60. Just to make sure I'm not crazy, I'm going to print the timer, the top left of the screen. I can do 0, 0. No. I might also be printing incorrectly. What am I doing wrong with print? Text XY color. Should I print test? Oh, because it's printing black by default. That's what it's doing. Maybe not. Oh, I didn't create object. I literally just like did not pay attention. Okay, clear screen. And then we want to actually draw in the draw function. Okay. I just yeah, just typing, just plopping code down, not paying attention where it was. Say T. Am I crazy? Oh, is it maybe picking a sprite that is blank. So it's creating objects, but they're actually blank. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 18. 3. Food, animal, sports. Oh, that's because I'm not actually choosing an object from object choices, or like one of the items in the list. I'm literally just returning this number. But we want to use that as the index from the list that we're doing. So, okay. Banana, install. There we go. I've seen something from all three lists pan out. So yeah, let me get the moving. I'm at 36 minutes, a little over halfway. I grab a quick drink of water, and then work on the stack that's going to be on either the left or right. And I'll have to think about if I want to continue displaying the stacks or how I want to handle that. Yeah, so 1 second. Oh, also, I think we're seeing something fun where the numbers getting so high that they're like looping around. So we'll also do something maybe where you like lose the game if one falls to the very bottom of the screen and you don't catch it. So we do need some type of like a game state, I think, and we'll just do something like super simple. Game state equals, we'll say you'll just start the game, you'll be in it, and then game over be game state 2. And then if we're in game state 2, we're going to do some different stuff in the update. So maybe we'll say game state is equal to 1. Then we'll do like all the gameplay stuff, including this. Things tapped over correctly. Then it's kind of like otherwise game over. I'm not going to have like a start menu or anything. This is going to be super simple to try to be done with this. So if we do go.pos greater than 20, say 120, because that's when it'll hit the bottom of the screen. 8 equals 2. 2 being a game over, and then we'll do this, and then we'll say if you press, I forget which button's which. 0, 1, 2, 3, I think are directions for being Z or X. And if we hit the button during game over, then we'll restart the game. And then for the draw, we'll lump all this into N. Let's keep drawing everything no matter what, and then if it's a game over, then we'll just print game over. And I'm just gonna put it leftish of the middle, near the top. Give it, looking over here for the colors, so this would be 4, 8 for the red. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it counts left to right, so this will be 8. Print game over in red. And then I'll just test this really quick. When it hits the bottom, I should get a game over. Yep. Actually, let me put that like center-ish of the screen. And I think we're gonna move it a little bit over to the right. I don't know how much I actually need to move it over to the right, but it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. It's okay. We got that working. The game will restart. But we don't actually have a way to win right now, so let's work on our interaction. So before we loop, we're going to say target's not going to point to anything. And then what target will end up being is maybe just the lowest object. We'll just do the lowest object. Target, apply gravity, and then if target to nil, then target's going to O. I mean, actually, no, I can just do let's just instantiate this if objects greater than 0. Target's going to be the first object. And all this is going to tab over and just be in the if statement. We're only going to update objects if there is more than one object. And we're going to initialize target to be the first one. And we're going to say if O.y is greater than target.y. And target's now going to be O. And then after we loop through all these, is target going to be global? Think about this for a second. So if I declare target, it's going to be the bottom one. If I hit left or right, it has a target, and I can't do anything until the next frame, in which it'll have a new target. I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be kind of just a single global thing. And then once we have targets, we'll initialize it. And also what I'm going to do during the game state is be able to, we'll start with like throwing the object up. So this is all still in the game state right here. We'll say if P, P being like just pressed, it's either 4 or 5. 5 and target is not equal to nil, then do target.dy equals, we're going to throw it up. I don't know, -4. Actually need to find the, ooh, it launched that. Let's do like 2. Okay, we got a nice juggle going on. Let's make a little target. Maybe with some contrast. Do like this. Show which one we're highlighting, and then I'm going to draw that. Like nil, then draw. I already forgot the sprite number, 48. O.x, O.y. Test this out real quick. Oh, not O, at target. Yeah, it looks a little confusing. Maybe I can do, we'll say one of these on the left and the other on the right side of it. Target x minus like 4 put it a little further away. We'll do 49 plus 4, and we're going to assume that looks good. So let's do, getting the last 15 minutes. I need to kind of finish this game so it's not just a juggle game. So now we're getting into the stacks. So let's start stack left, stack right, and then I think 0 is left, 1 is right. E. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and move this into the section of code that looks for if there's more than 0 objects. And then honestly, if we're here, we should always have a target. Button P 0. Then we want to move target to the left stack, and we also don't want it in objects anymore, otherwise it's going to like stay in this like juggle in falling down logic. So we'll say, and then we'll have to like display the stacks, and then also have logic. Actually, do I even need a stack? Can I just do left and right? I'll keep it to a single object, and we'll see how much time we have to make it an actual stack and display the stack. So let's do button P0. I'm going to make a comment here. Stack L equals. We're trying to overwrite it. We're not going to append to it. No, we can add to it. Add this to the end of the stack. We're going to add the target to. Am I doing add right? No, I need the list first. So stack L target. Right stack. Right. And then what we're going to do is remove target from objects. If we press to the right. So it should remove it. And then we're going to display the stacks, which for right now is just going to be one sprite for now. All. I do want to make this iterable. I forget how you for IO in pairs, I pairs. That way we have the index if we want to display the actual full stack. And we'll start with O.x. No, I don't want to do O.x and O.y. This is left side of the screen. So let's do x of 20. A y, it'll start in the middle of the screen-ish. And then as we count up I times, we want this to go higher on the screen, which will be decreasing it. So we'll do like -10 so the objects aren't touching. I think that's what we want. Yeah, maybe before I copy and paste this and edit it. Let's take a look. Oh, it didn't add, doesn't have the right sprite, so I didn't add the target. Oh, am I not drawing the right sprite? Play stacks O.sp. Yeah. Okay. Left and right. It's fine. It adds, but it doesn't delete the not deleting the target out of O because I mistypoed. Right. Left. There we go. And then target just kind of chills out. Doesn't crash. Let's start this at the bottom of the screen actually, and then I think it's good to copy paste. Let's Let's do, yeah, 120, 120. And maybe we'll win when the stack gets to a certain height. And also have the win condition. And then the last piece will be we do lose objects from same type. Maybe what I should do is like separate it into type and just track the type that it is as well as the sprite. So like if I pick, so instead of doing this, or maybe I can just do a check on the index that gets randomized. So sorry, I'm jumping around a little too much in the last 10 minutes. So I'm getting a little frantic here. Where did I leave off? We do lose. Just added the right stack. Let's just double check. Want this on the right side of the screen. Okay, that's good. We also want to win and to lose when we add new stuff. And I want to track the type. I think I do need to go ahead and do that. So let's say when we create an object, so type equals, let's do random index is going to be this. Oop. This, and then type should be able to be like this divided by 3. Or no, we can. Am I thinking about that right? 0, 1, 2, and then once it's 3, it'll be 1. Yeah. Sorry, this will be rand I, and this will be just rand I divided by 3. Is the type. We have 3 in each list. Okay. I'm going to say if determine we have a lose scenario and a win scenario. So first, lose same type. So we want to look at the top of the stack. Up, hill. Then if top, we want to make sure it exists because it might not. This might not. Let me do a check first. I think I need to do that. If stack hill is greater than 0, then we do this. And then I can just say if top dot type, is that what I called it? UIP? Yeah. Type is equal to target dot type, and you lose. And it'll be the same below. And then we want to have like when if the, let's say stack reaches 10 too much. 10 should be fine. Okay, so if it's 10, then play game mode equals 3 for victory. And then for the drawing, copy and paste this. Victory 3. We don't want that in red. Let's do 8, 9, 10, 11. That in green. Okay. So we're gonna do some nice copying and pasting here. above. It's after. And we gotta change these to stack right. Stack right. Right. Okay. Let's do corn over there. Apple, I should lose. I didn't lose. And also that's an error. Index type up. Oh, I didn't change this one. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I didn't do a floor on this, so it's a different decimal. All right, so it's an animal. Oh, that should have lost. Why didn't that lose? Am I looking at the wrong end? Does it insert at the front or the back? I think at the back because I iterated and I draw them like higher up the further back they are, and I believe that's how they're getting inserted. Also, I'm going to say do that when you reach 5. Okay. So yeah, let's look into why this might not be working. Up the stack equals target.type. And I'm thinking they should be the same type because they should be floor of this divided by 3. Oh, wait, no, these won't be... Am I doing it on Sprite? No, I'm doing it on the index. This index should be like between 0 and... or technically between 1 and 9. 1, 2, 3. Oh, is that why I need to do this -1, then divided by 3? Was I hitting an edge case there? Dog. No. All right, I'm in the last couple of minutes here. I have a simple bug, I'm sure. I'm just not quite seeing here. So I'm tempted to make some debug text. See kind of what this is seeing and why this isn't returning true. So I'm going to do something in the right stack. Equals first number, say, is the top of the stack.type. And then we want the second number, which will be target.type. And then we'll say if debug, then we'll print the debug. And we'll just print it maybe in the bottom middle of the screen. D120 in white. Did I put it down too far? Bug. Oh, the first one's not going to have anything on the stack. Never mind. I have to wait till there's an item on the stack, and then it'll tell me. Let's wait until I have another animal. Yeah, those are the same. Am I crazy? Those are both 1. I did not do equals equals. Game mode equals 2. Type, target.type. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it looks like I hit the hour time, so I will go ahead and pause here, and then I'm sure go ahead and get this like exported and uploaded. Or let's do the HTML. So what is that? Actually, let me save this. What is this? Give for good jam, and then export good jam.html. Oh, gotta capture a label. You just hop in the game to capture a label here. Let me not do game over. Forget the button for it. Nope, screenshot. Dang. Okay, that's good enough. All right, now I should be able to export it. And then, yeah, I'll get this uploaded. So it's an incomplete project, but yeah, I kind of made it. Yeah, once that bug is fixed, we'll at least have like the basics of a game. And then what I would have liked to have done is to kind of like make sure it could get to a spread where you have to juggle stuff. So I don't know if I would like, you know, force it to spawn the same stuff in a row, or what, or maybe honestly like just removing the right stack. Maybe it's just move it on the stack or juggle, and that way you would have to juggle more often. Is probably what I would do kind of like after the fact, just to make it, I don't know, more challenging or more fun, more interactive. But we'll upload this, and then I'll see about if I can do like a few minutes of an update to to actually get it working. But yeah, that was it for me. This was Scott, and part of the Louisville Makes Games Get for Good Jam. But had a good time with this. A little stressful with the 1 hour game jam, which I don't think I've ever done before. But it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks.